If the goal of a Mexico and Costa Rica trip is to slow down and enjoy it, the last thing anyone wants is to land tired, connect to spotty airport Wi-Fi, and spend the first evening wrestling with phone settings. The good news is that eSIMs make it possible to arrive with data ready, keep your home number active for calls and banking codes, and avoid surprise roaming charges. In this video, the focus is a simple, repeatable setup that works especially well for Canadians, Americans, and beyond, who want reliability for maps, rides, translations, WhatsApp, and day-to-day coordination without turning the phone into a science project. Before we begin, if you want to follow this without pausing the video, grab the free one-page Arrive Connected checklist and the Mexico-Costa Rica settings cheat sheet linked in the description. And if you like calm, retiree-friendly travel systems that remove friction from travel days, subscribe to Travel Choir because this channel is built around making the practical stuff feel simple. And stay with this to the end, because the difference between it works and it works every time is a handful of small settings that most people skip, until they're standing on a curb in a new country with no data and a driver who can't find them. Decide what you actually need before you buy anything. Before choosing an eSIM plan, get clear on the kind of traveler you are on this trip. Mexico and Costa Rica can be very different, even within the same country. If the plan is resort time in Cancun followed by a rainforest stay near La Fortuna, you'll likely want a plan that emphasizes coverage and consistency over bargain bin pricing. If the plan is mostly city time, Mexico City, Guadalajara, San Jose, then almost any decent plan will feel fast and stable. Next, decide whether you want one plan that covers both countries or separate plans for Mexico and Costa Rica. A single regional plan is often simpler because it's one install, one set of settings, and one balance to watch. Separate country plans can be cheaper, but they increase the chances of activating the wrong thing at the wrong time when you cross borders or switch locations. For most retirees who value smooth travel days, the simplest option usually wins. Then estimate data in a realistic way. For many travelers, maps, email, messaging, light browsing, and a few short clips each day land somewhere in the moderate range. Video calls, constant streaming, and sharing lots of photos and videos can push usage up quickly. The key is to buy enough that you don't feel anxious, while also making sure the plan allows top-ups or add-ons so you're not forced into a full repurchase mid-trip. Finally, decide how important hotspot sharing is. If you ever want to connect a tablet, a travel laptop, or your partner's device, choose a plan that allows tethering. Some do, some don't, and it's one of those details that matters a lot after you've already arrived. Make sure your phone is ready, unlocked, and backed up. The most common eSIM failure isn't the eSIM, it's the phone. Start by confirming your device supports eSIM and is carrier unlocked. Many newer iPhones and flagship Androids support eSIM, but not every model does, and some older devices only support a limited configuration. Also, if you bought your phone through a carrier in Canada or the US, assume nothing and verify it's unlocked before you travel. An unlocked phone is the difference between a 5-minute setup and a frustrating customer support chat. Next, update your phone's operating system and carrier settings while you're still at home on stable Wi-Fi. eSIM installation and activation is smoother when the device is current, and it reduces weird issues like missing menus, inconsistent cellular toggles, or settings that don't stick. Then do 2 quick preparations that save headaches later. First, label your lines in advance. If you'll keep your home physical SIM active for voice and text and add an eSIM for data, name them something obvious like home, voice, and travel, data. Second, check that you can access the accounts you'll need if something goes wrong: your email, your Apple ID or Google account, and any password manager. If you ever have to re-download an eSIM or reinstall the app, those logins matter. And one more retiree-relevant point. If your banking or health portals use text message verification, make sure your home number can still receive those messages abroad. Many people keep their home SIM active but turn off roaming data to avoid charges, which usually still allows incoming SMS. The goal is to keep verification working without paying for expensive roaming data. Buy smart and time the install like a pro. There are two moments in the process: installing the eSIM and activating it. Installing is often best done at home on Wi-Fi. Activating can be done on arrival or sometimes even just before departure, depending on the plan rules. Many plans begin their validity clock when they first connect to a supported network, but some start earlier. That's why the best move is to read the activation rule carefully and then time it in a way that protects your days. A clean routine is this: install the eSIM at home, confirm it shows up under cellular settings, but keep it turned off. Then, after landing in Mexico, turn it on, set it as the data line, and let it connect. If the plan is regional, it should continue working when you later arrive in Costa Rica, and your phone should switch to a local partner network automatically. Also, think about the local number question. Many eSIM travel plans are data only, which is perfectly fine if you use WhatsApp, FaceTime audio, Messenger, or Wi-Fi calling through your home line. If you truly need a local voice number for a specific reason, that's a different purchase decision. Most retirees don't need it day to day, but it's worth being honest about your trip style. The step-by-step setup that avoids 90% of problems. Now for the setup that works reliably. Start with Wi-Fi, install the eSIM, and confirm it appears as a line in your phone. Then go into cellular settings and do three things. First, choose your default voice line as your home SIM, so calls behave normally. Second, choose your default data line as the travel eSIM. Third, turn off cellular data switching unless you specifically want your phone to fall back to your home carrier's data when the travel eSIM has trouble. For most people, data switching is a sneaky way to trigger roaming charges, so keep it off unless you're being very intentional. Next, make sure data roaming is enabled for the travel eSIM if the plan requires it. This sounds backward. People hear roaming and panic, but for many travel eSIMs, data roaming must be on for the eSIM to connect to partner networks. The safety move is to enable data roaming only on the travel eSIM and keep it off for your home SIM. Then label the lines clearly and do a quick test. Open a map, load a web page, send a WhatsApp message, and confirm everything behaves. If you're using iMessage, confirm that it's still tied to your usual number or email the way you want. If you're using Android with RCS, confirm your messaging works as expected. This is also where you set yourself up for a calmer trip. Write down, in one place, the eSIM support steps, the QR code or activation details if provided, and the plan name. If anything goes sideways later, you won't have to hunt through old emails. And here's a practical value-first shortcut. If you want the simplest path, use a reputable eSIM provider that lets you install, manage, and top up in one place, especially when moving between Mexico and Costa Rica. I've also included a couple of free resources in the description, including a one-page Arrive Connected checklist and a settings cheat sheet you can keep on your phone. If you'd like to support the channel while you're getting set up, you can use the recommended links in the description. Mexico realities that affect phone service in real life. Mexico is usually a strong experience for mobile data in major cities and popular tourist corridors, but real travel days introduce real friction. Airports can be crowded, and sometimes it takes a few minutes for a phone to register on a network after landing. Don't panic if it doesn't connect instantly. Turn airplane mode on and off once, wait a minute, and check that your travel eSIM is set as the active data line. Also remember that Mexico is a place where rideshare pickups, hotel check-ins, and restaurant reservations often run through messaging. WhatsApp is especially common. That's why keeping your WhatsApp account attached to your home number while using travel data is such a strong setup. You get the best of both worlds. Your contacts can still reach you, and you're not depending on your home carrier for data. If you're doing Mexico first and then flying to Costa Rica, don't delete anything between legs. Keep the eSIM installed, keep it labeled, and only toggle what needs to be toggled. The number one travel mistake is cleaning up the phone mid-trip and then forgetting what was working. Costa Rica realities: beautiful geography, uneven coverage. Costa Rica can feel deceptively modern in San Jose and the Central Valley, and then you head toward beaches, volcano towns, or rainforest areas, and the experience becomes more variable. That doesn't mean it's bad, it means you should prioritize stability. If your trip includes rural stretches, don't buy the absolute minimum data plan and assume you'll always find perfect Wi-Fi. Give yourself a buffer so maps and messaging work when you need them. On arrival, the same rule applies. Give the phone a moment to connect, then toggle airplane mode once if needed. If you're using a regional eSIM plan, your phone should switch networks automatically. If it doesn't, a manual network selection can help. The goal isn't to chase the best network every hour. It's to get a stable connection and move on with your day. Costa Rica is also the kind of trip where people spread out. One person goes for a walk, the other rests at the hotel, and then you meet up later. Reliable messaging becomes the safety net. Make sure WhatsApp is working, confirm your location sharing preferences if you use them, and keep your emergency contact routine simple. Troubleshooting, safety settings, and the Calm Traveler checklist. If you ever see no service or data that won't load, start with the basics. Confirm the travel eSIM is on, confirm it's selected for cellular data, and confirm data roaming is enabled on that eSIM if required. Then toggle airplane mode once. If that doesn't work, restart the phone. It sounds old school, but it clears a surprising number of network registration issues. If data works but certain apps don't, look for VPN settings, DNS settings, or app-specific restrictions. Sometimes a banking app refuses logins from unfamiliar networks, or a security feature flags a location change. That's not a reason to avoid eSIMs. It's a reason to expect a little friction and have your recovery steps ready, including access to your email and a second verification method when possible. For retirees, battery management matters too. Using data constantly, navigation, and bright screens can drain a phone faster than expected in the heat. Bring a small power bank on travel days. The phone is not just entertainment, it's logistics, navigation, and safety. Finally, if you're traveling with a partner, decide who is the primary connectivity phone in emergencies. It's often wise to have both phones set up with data, but at minimum, ensure one phone is rock solid for maps and messaging. That small decision reduces stress when plans change. One more quick note before we wrap up. If this walkthrough saved you time and you want to support TravelQuire, please consider using the recommended eSIM links in the description when you set up your plan. I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you, and I also keep the free checklists and cheat sheets updated so you can travel with fewer surprises. Simple setup, smoother travel. The whole point of this approach is to turn connectivity into a solved problem. Install on Wi-Fi at home, label your lines, keep your home number alive for verification, make the travel eSIM your data line, and avoid accidental roaming charges by being intentional with data switching. Then you land in Mexico or Costa Rica with a phone that behaves the way you expect, so your attention can stay on the trip itself. If you want more retiree-focused travel systems like this, where the goal is calmer logistics and fewer surprises, subscribe to TravelQuire. And if you want the free Arrive Connected checklist and settings cheat sheet for Mexico and Costa Rica, they're linked in the description. If there's a specific route you're taking, drop it in the comments and the next setup can be tailored to your itinerary.